in the mountains of Costa Rica. Helicopter carried one by Dr. Mabius, led by a team of scientists. Put it at a cave entrance. Mabius suffers from a rare blood disorder, need to walk with crutches. He had the team set up a trap, and he stepped forward and raised his bleeding hand. Lure all the bats in the cave into the trap. The team and the pilots were scared away, but Mabius just waited quietly. What happened in Greece 25 years ago? The teenager Mabius is in the hospital. Dr. Nicholas introduced him to a boy. Mabius nicknamed him Meridian. Both children have the same rare blood disorder. Immediately hit it off. When they chat, the machine of the vein suddenly broke down. He passed out on the spot. Mabius, remove the spring from your pen quickly. The machine was quickly repaired. Milo woke up immediately. Nicholas, impressed by the cleverness of Mabius, decided to send him to a private school in New York, but Mabius remained silent until Nicholas said he will take care of Milo before agreeing. Before he left, Mabius wrote a letter to Milo, guaranteed to find a cure for their disease. Fortunately, it accidentally fell off Milo's hand. When he went looking for it, discover a few bad kids in a nearby school are being rude, and laughed at him. They started beating Milo for fun. Fortunately, Nicholas arrived in time, scared them away before they could cause serious harm. He still has to stop Milo from taking revenge. Mabius was 19 years old. You get your PhD, and eventually developed an artificial blood, saved millions of lives. The King of Sweden forced him to award him the Nobel Prize, but he refused, because he found artificial blood just trying to find a serendipity in finding a cure for your illness. Back to now, Mabius returns to work at the hospital. Colleague Dr. Martina asked him to chat privately. He was doing some tests on him, asked about Mabius, combining human DNA with bats. DNA mixing crazy project. This project is funded by Context. Mobius pretended not to know what he was talking about. Revealed Mabius, a container filled with Colombian bats. Now he's telling the truth. These bats, it is the only animal on Earth that feeds entirely on blood of mammals, so Mabius thinks their special saliva could be the key to curing his disease. Martina is skeptical of the idea, and worried about the ethics of such experiments, but Mabius continued. In one of his lab mice, tested his heart serum. Unfortunately, that poor mouse died. Just then, one of Mabius' patients started having seizures. They burst into the ward. To prevent him from having a possible stroke, had to put him in a coma. When Martina examines the lab again, she was surprised to find that the mouse was moving. This means that the serum is indeed working. Soon after, Mabius went to see Milo, tell him about the breakthrough, and ask for more funding. Because this experiment is illegal, he needs to do it in international waters. Milo is happy to pay for everything, as long as a cure can be found. A few days later, Mabius took Martina with him. Let's head to international waters together. Mabius successfully created a more advanced new serum. Martina inject him into Mabius' spine. When his body began to tremble, he also put his seat belt on. Just then, a crew member came to the laboratory to check the situation. When Martina argued with him, Mabius managed to break free. Martina and the guard went into the isolation room. Shocking discovery. Mabius is wearing a terrible face. Climb on the ceiling. The guard attempts to fire, but Mabius moves extremely fast. Jump on him and start smoking. Also ignore Martina, begging the cries of his assistant. Suddenly the alarm on the ship began to click. Mabius' sensitive ears hurt terribly, so much so that he started to panic and destroy the Glicks. The rest of the security personnel arrived. Martina tried to stop them, but they pushed her away, stun him. Just then, Mabius completely broke the glass, jumping out of the room to show off his new vampire powers. This allows him to dodge bullets and move quickly. Killed the guards without mercy. A few survivors ran away and locked the door, but Mabius is also incredibly powerful now. The door was easily knocked open. Then Mabius climbed up to the ceiling again. Take it easy. He caught the guards one by one. Kill them all. When all the crew members are dead, after Mobius dilutes it enough, his body reverted to human form. He hurried to the mirror to check himself. Apparently he was finally cured. After that, Mabius confirmed that Martina was okay, and checked the surveillance cameras. Seeing what he did made him very upset. He threw up, but then he sent out a distress signal, took the serum, jumped into the sea. The next morning, 2 FBI agents arrive on board, investigate a crime scene. But unfortunately, Mabius deleted all security footage. Martina is still in a coma. The case was in the news very quickly, solved by Nicholas and Milo. Mabius returned to the hospital shortly after. After examining his patients, he went to the lab and dropped off the serum. His body soon began to weaken again, so he rushed into the fridge, drank the artificial blood he made. Is that so? He can do it without having to kill anyone. And he started testing his abilities. He is fast, physical flexibility, can climb anything and jump everywhere. When he enters the container containing the bats, they flew around him respectfully. Mobius felt close to them. He also found himself like a bat. We now have echolocation, so he closed his eyes. by throwing a ball into the room, then catch him and test the ability. Unfortunately, these powers only last when he eats. Artificial blood can stabilize him for 6 hours, but that time is getting shorter. He knows, I'll need real blood soon. He locked himself in an isolated room. A few hours later, Milo came to see him, found him in a state of extreme weakness. Mabius wrote on the glass with his own handwriting, asked for blood. Milo brought him some bags from the freezer. As soon as he eats, Mabius recovered. Get strong again. Milo was very surprised by this cure. However, when Milo asked to be injected as well, Mabius told him he had made a mistake. This cure is actually a curse. Milo persisted. Mabius becomes aggressive. Kicked him out. At the same time, Martina finally woke up. FBI agents visited her, showed her the boat, disturbing photos of corpses. But Martina pretends she doesn't remember what happened that night. Later that night, a nurse works late at night. Noticed that the lights were behaving strangely. She starts to run away in fear, but in the end it was still killed by a vampire. When the body was found in the morning, Mabius was as surprised as his colleagues and thought he might have done it himself. Mabius began to doubt his sanity. He ran to the lab, grabbed a few bags of blood, and left. On his way out, he was stopped by FBI agents. They asked questions about the experiment and decided to arrest him. Mabius immediately defended himself, knocked them down with just a few moves. Then he dodged a bullet from a police officer, climbed the stairs to escape. He climbed onto the roof of the hospital, surprised to feel the air outlet of the air conditioner is stronger than usual. But before he could test what that meant, he was arrested by agents. At the Manhattan Detention Center, Mabius was allowed to preserve his handwriting. He calculated and found his mealtime from every 6 hours to 4 hours and 22 minutes. When he was brought to the interrogation room, he was leaned against the table. Agents came in with holy water just in case. They accused him, causing the death of the ship and the nurse, but Mabius started to lose control, begging for his fake blood and gall. The agents didn't take him seriously, sent him back to his cell. Later, Mellor visited Mabius, showed support to him, and gave him a packet of artificial blood before leaving. However, Mobius noticed that Milo forgot to bring his cane. He discovered the truth. Milo stole the serum and injected himself. In fact, he was the one who killed the nurse. After Milo came out of the cell, stopped pretending to be disabled, left with perfect reflexes. The angry Mobius drank his blood. It forms a vampire. Escaped from the cell through the window. Then he jumped around the city and used his echolocation. Heard Milo attacking a stall owner. Mabius rushed immediately. Milo on the street. Call him a monster, but Milo thought it was fantastic. They can finally do whatever they want. So he attacked Mabius. I want to get rid of him. A fierce battle ensued. Vampires attack each other. Finally crashed into the subway station. The citizens fled in panic. After exchanging a few more attacks, Milo celebrates that they have evolved. But Mabius promised, we'll find a solution to this problem. Just then, the police arrived to arrest them both. But Milo moves fast. Before a little victory dance, killed all the cops in seconds. Then as the train approached, Milo attacks Mabius again. Mabius felt rapid airflow caused by trains, jumped in front of the train and escaped through the tunnel. And the next day, Martina sensed that someone was following her in the city, so she walked into a store and escaped through the back door. She was followed by an agent. Now he's lost her in the crowd. Martina takes the bus. She read in the newspaper that Mabius is a wanted man. Then he suddenly appeared behind her. He said Milo stole the serum. He is the real killer. Martina believed it. Then they got off the bus, stopped at a cafe. When they chat, Mabius overheard two criminals mention a laboratory, so he asked Martina for a few things, then followed them. After taking the artificial blood that Martina gave him, Mabius, in a lab that makes counterfeit money, found the villains. When he asked them politely to give him the lab, a villain tried to attack him with a knife, but Mabius broke his hand and scared everyone away. When Mabius used the parts of the printing press, build the equipment he needs. When researching ways to treat vampires, Milo is getting ready to go out and party. After he danced and got dressed in the apartment, went to a nightclub, flirting with a beautiful woman. But a man said he saw her first, pushed him away. Milo managed to contain his power. Left, but he waited outside. When the man and his friends came out, he killed them all. Martina went to Mabius shortly after. Get something in the hospital lab. Found Milo there. looking for his friend. Martina swears she doesn't know where Mabius is, and let her go without causing any commotion. At the same time, FBI agent broke into Martina's place, but neither her nor her cat were there. Revealed at this time, Martina is with Mabius, hidden in the new lab. She's taken his cat with him. When trying to feed the cat, she accidentally cut her finger. Mabius had to work extra hard so as not to respond to the smell of her blood. Afterwards, they shared one on the rooftop intimate moment. Unbeknownst to them, Milo was watching them from a distance. The next morning, FBI agents outside the bar found the guys who were killed and checked the surveillance cameras, discovering that the Milo is the real murderer. Nicholas saw the latest news on the news, went to visit Milo, asked him to stop killing. Milo was tired of the doctor's sympathy in pointing out Mabius has always been the favorite. He attacked Nicholas. He was seriously injured. At the same time, Mabius managed to develop antibodies that only harm the vampire body. He made 2 bottles. One for Milo, another bottle for Martina. Let him use it on himself when necessary. Just then, he received a call for help from Nicholas. He rushed to Milo's apartment. Unfortunately, Nicholas was dying, just in time to beg Mabius to stop Milo. At the same time, Milo kidnapped Martina, let him shout the name of Mabius until he used his strength to hear. Mabius uses his echolocation. After finding their location, fly across the city and find Martina on the rooftop. She is bleeding from a wound caused by Milo. She wanted Mabius to dilute his blood so she can die worthwhile, but Mabius kissed her, causing a drop of his own blood to fall into her mouth. Just then, Martina is dead. Mabius gave in to his anger, sucked her blood, and Milo shows up on the roof. Mabius jumps at him. The two fell off the edge together. As they fall, vampires continue to attack each other before starting to fall again. Crash through a building several times. Milo hits Mabius harder. It landed him on a platform. He grabbed his legs, throw him at a glowing sign. When Mabius falls again, Milo jumped at him, dragged him into a moving building. And then they hit the street, cross the road, and land in a tunnel. When Milo laughed like a madman, Mabius uses his voice in the tunnel, then used his hand. There was a powerful echo in the water. Locating wave. Suddenly, a swarm of bats appears to help Mabius stand up. When Milo tried to kill him with a metal rod, Mabius sent the bat to him. When these little creatures take control of Milo, Mabius went up to him and injected him with antibodies, causing Milo to transform back into human form and apologize before he died. Just then, FBI agents and police arrived. Mabius hides among the bats, safely out of the tunnel. At the same time, Martina woke up on the roof and revealed that she had also become a vampire. Soon after, a mysterious spell saved Spider-Man's enemies bald, thrown in the local jail. Because he is from another universe, no one here knows who he is. The police released him immediately. Pretty soon, suddenly managed to recreate his villain costume and approached Mabius to propose cooperation. Please be sure to follow us so that you can watch more similar videos. Thanks for watching.